Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
Gold, I had TP right here. Gold came down and smashed it. I took my little 10 pips up here right before the call. I'm currently down on GJ and GU. We'll go over those in a second. Let's go look at the dashboard. As you can see here, GJ, about 50% of his ADR. GJ and GU are up. I'm in buys on both of those. GOD and GN are down big. You can see here, GOD for the day 90 out of its 104 ADR. GN 226 out of 151. Huge drop today, mainly because of the NZD. GCAD not really doing much of nothing. G-Chef up a little bit. The Euro pairs all down except for Euro JPY. And you can see here, Euro NZD, big drop, 204 out of 130. All right, I'm currently having issues with my indices right now, guys. So I don't know. That's another reason why I was late. I was trying to work through those issues right there. I have no visibility. My indices are all frozen. So, yep. So let's go look at it. GJ, we are in a what? We're in no trend. All right. But as you see here, you got 55 pip room in between both zones, so we can trade both directions. I'll take the entry on the 5-minute chart for the Asian breakout. All right. GU, I went against the rules. If I lose this one, that's on me. Because I went against the rules. I took the trade here. I took the bag entry inside of the zone below the top of this zone. So it's above Asia session, but it's still inside the zone. So if I lose this trade, that's on me. I didn't follow the rules. But what I've been seeing GU do, and the reason why I took it was for key reasons. The AIRO moving average was moving up, looking across above the 200. Price was above both. GU has been moving very, very hard in that direction, in the up direction. Even when the other pairs are trending down, for everybody that took a trade last night, both GU and GJ, if you were in the Asia breakout sessions last night, congratulations, you won. All right, both of those hit TP at 20 pips. And I know we were in the fun zone last night. So everybody, the new thing right now is getting in the fun zone. The fun zone is blue. So right now I'm in the fun zone because I made money tonight. But if the night keeps going the way it's going, I'm about to be out of the fun zone because these losses are going to take up my wins that I have on gold. So we're trying to catch it back. GI trying to move up. So it makes me feel good about the other G pairs. GM trying to move up. GCAD just sit at the zone, trying to bounce off. G-Chef bounced off the zone. So I'm feeling good about the two trades I'm in at the moment. Euro GBP, not really doing much of nothing. You can see here we got a little bit of a little wedge action going on. But we got these zones in the way. You can see that right here. All right. Euro AUD. No real entry, just a cliffhanger. Euro JPY. It's in an uptrend. All right. Had a bag entry outside the money zone. Nothing there. Euro NZD. Big drop on the NZDs. I saw a couple of you guys catch the NZDs. Congrats. Gold. Should have caught that drop. Easy money. Easy. There's a zone right here. So that's why this blue line is here. As you guys know, I like to trade breakouts. And so with gold, it's been rising so long here, right? Now, why did I take this counter trend trade? Well, I'll tell you. So one thing I've learned about market makers is that when they are one sign that they're wanting to push price the opposite direction is when you see all these wicks pointed in one direction. So you see all these wicks pointed up, all right? After the huge run up, all the wicks are pointed up. What does that mean? That means the market makers are going up there and triggering orders, all right? And so guess what? I waited for price to come down and close below that zone. I entered in right here. My entry was right here. Let me change this color here. My entry is right there in the yellow line here. And then I have my take profit right here at the start of the run up. All right, at the start of the run up. As you can see here, that was easy. Was it 20, 25 pips? It was 20, 28 pips. All right, I took a quick 10. I got out here and it dropped another 18. Shit of hell, but I was trying to get off and make sure we get this call started. But easy trade though, easy trade. And again, what gave it off to me was again all the wicks to the upside. We had a huge run up. You can see here in the last day, this thing has been up huge since yesterday. All right, so there had to be what? There's got to be some pullback. All right, and so what I look for is I was looking for, of course, price to move sideways. But then as I saw all the wicks pointed up, you got some wicks on the downside, but for the most part, all the wicks are pointed up, which tells me what? That the market makers are trying to fake the breakout to the upside, and then they pull it back. Fake the breakout, pull it back. Fake the breakout, pull it back. Fake the breakout, pull it back. And when they fake the breakout, they do two things. They trigger orders that are already up there. So pending orders that are already up there. Number one. Number two, they're enticing people because at one point this wick means that this used to be a full body candle. It used to be way up here. So they're enticing people who are just entering trades on candles to what? To buy. So there's a lot of buying pressure up here. And once they made enough, once they collected enough money or activated enough orders, they then did what? They shifted. Shoot. This candle right here shifted the entire zone. This candle right here was a, from top to bottom, 24 pip candle. That locked everybody in because now everybody's in the buy is locked in to the buy. And so now they're going to hold. So for me, it closed below that zone right there. I entered in here. A little pull back about 12 pips, shot down. Once it shot down, I was always in profit. So again, the more you watch the charts, the more you'll see this. The more you see it, the more apt you'll be to trade it. All right. Again, yeah, you guys remember this happened a couple weeks ago. Hey, GER 30, looking good, looking good. Actually, guys, I can tell you, I'm entering into a sale on GER 30. I'm about to take this close of this gap here. It's in a downward trend. I'm anticipating. Let me see here. We're in an uptrend here. Yeah, guys, I'm entering into a sale. I'm in a sale on GER 30. This is an indice. So if you're going to trade GER 30, make sure you use proper risk management. GER 30 is an index. All right. And it's a mover. So make sure you use proper risk management. I'm entering into this for, I'm going to explain a few reasons why I'm entering into this trade. We'll explain a few reasons. All right. I'm going to put it way down here. All right. That's says 3521. So it says 3,521 pips. But that's really 352. It's 3,521 points. But it's looking for 352 pips is what that is. So I'm looking for 50 to 100 range. My TP is going to be really top of this zone right here, the top here. But what I'm seeing is, you know, you have price action moving down, right? And then you have what? You have this gap, huge gap that has not been filled. This is the same gap that I traded yesterday, but I traded it on the upside with GER 30. So I'll explain. We'll go back and look at it here. Like you see here, boom, boom, boom. So you guys can see here yesterday on the gap side right here. All right, there's a gap right here that happened. Price was moving upward, gap down, came back up, There was a zone here. It broke above the zone right here in this candle. I got in. Let me zoom in here. And I sent the screenshot in the group for those who wanted to see that. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. I got in this candle right here, closed above the zone. That was right here. There was a zone right here. I got in on this candle, little drawdown, and it shot up. All right. I caught 200 pips on this move here. And that the move was to close this gap. All right. So I'm looking for that same move on this end, but I'm looking to take profit. Probably, let me just measure this to make sure. Yeah, probably to the top of this here, this structure right here. It's about 124 pips. All right, about 124. I've got mine down here because if this thing gets to moving, I'm gonna let it run. I'm gonna let it run so it can close that full gap right there. All right. All right, all right. Somebody said they caught some pips on UK 100. Yeah, my UK 100 is frozen. Let's go to a different time frame. M1. All right, the M1, it works. Strange. Nice drop, though. I see that. For who I don't know who that was in the group that said they caught that, but nice trade right there on that one. Let's go back to the M5 and see if I can. Why is it not showing it on the M5? That works. Not really sure. MT4 is having problems. I've already confirmed it on the MV side. On the broker side, we're good. But on the MT4 side, we're having problems. You can see Japan 225. Same thing, it's frozen from yesterday. Strange. Go to the M1, you can see that it's not frozen. So it looks like it's an MT4 problem. Technology works is great. When it doesn't work, hey, it's a pain in the butt sometimes. But GER 30, you guys can see it up 27 pips right now if you're in that GER 30 trade. All right, congrats to you. Catch these pips. Plus 17 on that one. Let's go back and look at our G pairs. GJ making his move back up. All right, making his move back up. All right. GU making his move back up. All right, gold. Gold pulling back. Let's look at that gold real quick. We're down 1 pip now on that GER. Let me do something with gold. For gold, I'm going to throw on the Fibonacci. We're going to take a look at that Fibonacci. Pull back to the 62. I don't really see, for me, I don't see the candlestick formation that I would enter in on. So, but you can see that it pulled back at the 62 right there. All right, heading back up. GER 30 up 13, heading down. Cool. Feeling good. This is why you just, hey guys, you just stay calm. You don't over leverage your account, number one. Number two, you want to make sure that you use proper risk management. So you have your stop loss and take profit set up. And then you chill. If you lose, you lose. All right? If you lose, which you're going to lose, everyone's going to lose, you lose. But the question is not what happens. I mean, not that you lost. The question is, all right, let's go back to the drawing board and find out, why did I lose? Is there something that we missed? Something that we entered in? Did we enter in on a trade without following our rules? Again, everyone has rules. You should, or if you don't, you're setting yourself up for failure when you first log on. You should have your own trading rules. I've got mine. I know how much money I'm looking to make every day I log on. All right. I know typically which pairs I'm going to trade. I know which strategy that as far as the rules, I know what the rules are to the strategies. If I don't follow them, hey, like I just told you guys with GU, I didn't follow the rules. I didn't follow the rules. So if I lose GU, that's on me. All right. GER30, we're entering in based off of a combination of price action as well as this gap that needs to be closed here. All right. So it's not a strategy, but it's a combination of just years of experience of trading. All right. And again, you follow your rules, you follow your trading plan. Again, I'll repeat, if you don't have a trading plan going into trading, you have already set yourself up for failure. All right. So we will make sure that you follow your trading plan. All right. And the trading plan is not just the combination of strategies. It's your lot size, based on the account size that you have. It's your take profit and stop loss. Are you going to follow, or are you going to, are your rules 20 pips, take profit, 40 pips, stop loss? Are you using a different strategy that has a different setup? Do you use different rules? You guys may trade differently. Some of you guys use the software to trade differently than the rules that I put out, and that's fine. And some people are having some great success. Actually, speaking of that, I'm going to start doing a few things differently. I've always told everybody that I don't do top-down analysis because of the zones. They tell me what's going on, and it's done well for us. But as a group, that's been on fire, killing it. Even the beginners that are coming on are just automatically catching thousands of pips within their first couple of days. And the one thing they're doing is they're doing top-down analysis. So, for example, what is top-down analysis? TDA. So top-down analysis is when you go to, let's say, for example, here with GJ, I'm going to go to the H1 chart. All right, I'm going to go to the H1 chart, and I'm going to look at, okay, we're in an uptrend. We're in an uptrend. So if I'm going to execute my trades, let's say on the 15-minute or the 5-minute, I'm looking for the buy entries in the direction of the overall trend on what? On the higher time frames. So you could have got into this trade. You could have got into this bag entry right here. And that's 27 pips right there. You could have got in on this bag entry right here, ran up 13 pips. So you could have got into this trade and ran it up. W formation there. You could have got in on W formation right there. And then the bag entry, then the second bag entry, all based on top-down analysis. And really, top-down analysis is just understanding what overall trend you're in on the higher time frames. As we talked about, guys, don't worry about the lower time frames. You enter in on the lower time frames so you can have sniper entries. You want to follow, though, the trend of the overall time frames, the higher time frames. Why is that? That's because the higher time frames have a stronger trend. The lower time frames go up and down. So, for example, let's look at the day chart. All right, let's look at the day chart. As you can see here, this candle is green, right? It's just straight up. So green candle right here, you guys see. So for GDP, JPY, the daily candle is green. So it's a buy candle. But if you go to the 5-minute chart, you see that what? You see that price went up and down, up, down, back up. But on the day chart, you see it straight up. All right. That's why you enter in your sniper entries or your entries on the lower time frames. All right. Because the higher time frames have a overall stronger trend. They're giving you the general bias or trend of that pair that you're trading. So that's why I always tell you guys that I don't care about the lower time frames. You guys that want to look at lower time frames and know if you should not enter the trade or not, that doesn't for me. That's not how you justify, at least the way I was trained and just how trading works in general. You justify entering into a trade. You don't look at the lower time frames. Now, if you have a strategy that works like that and it works for you, then great. But when you're generally analyzing the chart, you want to look at the higher time frames to understand, in higher time frames, I mean your H1, your H4, and you want to see what is the overall trend. As you can see here, we're in an uptrend. Therefore, when you go down to the smaller time frames, you look for entries for a buy. A lot of the guys that you guys are seeing in the chart that are catching these 200, 300, 400 pip moves, Hilliard's in the guys. I'll call out Hilliard. He's up 400 pips on gold. You see, he's got multiple entries on his way up. This is some of the strategies they use. When you catch those long runs, you're analyzing the chart on the higher time frames to understand the general bias or the general overall trend, and then you go to the lower time frames and enter your entries, and then you enter in the additional entries when you have retraces, when you have pullbacks. So, for example, as you guys can see here, we're down 3 pips on GJ. Well, I'm down 3. We did not enter into these on the call, so we're down 29 right now in GER 30. All right, we're looking for 124, I believe, is what the TP I want to go to is 124. So we're down 33 right now. But let's go look at it. Just go look at gold. Let's go look at gold, because gold is a great one. That's what he's in right now. All right, so we're in gold. All right, let's go. All right, so gold here. Let's go to H1. You see the overall consensus. We're in an uptrend. All right, we're in an uptrend. All right, new day comes. We're in an uptrend. New day comes. All right, coming down to the 5-minute chart. All right, we're in an uptrend. And you can see here on the H1, you had that what? You had that down arrow right there. You had a down arrow. So I got a down arrow. All right. So now I'm looking for the opportunity. All right, you got down here. Boom. All right, potential entry right here. I'll show you all the potential entries based on identifying the higher time frames. All right, so number 1 is right here, break of the W. All right, so close of that break, close the neckline of the W. There's an entry right there. All right, then guess what? You got another entry right here with the bag entry, bounce, arrow, go. All right, you have some drawdown, price went sideways, came back down, came back up. That W is slanted down, this one's slanted up. I wouldn't take this W, but look, another bag entry, another entry, another entry. Here's another bag entry. Guess what? Another potential entry. All right. Another bag entry there, another potential entry. Another upward bag entry right there, another potential entry. Another bag entry right there, another potential entry. And by that time, you got this one, that one took off. You had 1, 2, 3, 4 opportunities for bag entry inside of the money zone, all inside the money zone. And towards New York session, look what happened. Shoo, price took off. So if you wanted to wait, you could have took this bag entry right here, and you could have waited until New York session, because gold moves most during New York session. It's a New York session pair. And so that day, that thing shifted away. Now you're in great profit. You're in great profit. But then guess what? There's another bag entry right there. Another opportunity. Another bag entry right here. Another opportunity for what? An entry on gold. So I just showed you here, you want to look at the higher time frames to understand the overall general consensus of the overall trend. And then you come to the lower time frames and you're using your bag entries, you're using price action, you might use Fibonacci, whatever your strategy is on entries, all right, to get in. You use proper risk management. You then can hold these trades, for longer time frames without really having to worry about your account being really hurt. All right. GER 30, we're down 75. Well, GER 30 was, man, that thing hurt me right now. Hurt my feelings right now. We got 24 minutes until London session open. 24 minutes. Down 5. I'm down 4 now. Finally, GJ finally moving the right way. Get that breakout of Asia session. That is a strategy. This Asia session strategy right here for GJ. GU, I entered in outside the strategy, but GJ is valid whether you got in on a 5-minute or you got in on a 15-minute. But GJ is a valid entry. All right, gold moving back up. Good to see here. All they were doing is faking guys out. All right. Let's see how far they brought it down here. They brought it back down to this area right here. Now I'm going to wait for a breakout, because the overall consensus is what? Overall consensus is uptrend. All right, it's uptrend. So now I'm waiting for that breakout above the zone. All right. And depending on how the breakout looks, if it's a very strong one, okay, we good. If it's not, then I'm looking for it to come back down, retest the zone or this line where the top of the zone is, and then take off. All right, that retest is strong. Got to have patience for it. That's one thing I've had to learn to teach myself, which I'm still learning because I like to take pure breakouts. Sometimes breakouts cause me to have to hold trades a little bit longer than I want to, with some drawdown because I don't wait for the retest. I typically get in on a breakout. So I'm because a lot of the pairs that I trade, there's a lot of times where they break out and then they go. They don't even retest. And so I've got to learn that I can miss those trades because if I get in on the trades that do have a retest, I can risk less pips and I have to worry about a GER 30 trade, like right now that has a pullback of, where we're at 91 pips at one point. All right. All right, all right, all right. GU being stubborn. All right. Stop sharing here. Take a look here. GU is a buy. I'm in a buy in GU. I wouldn't, again, I didn't follow the rules though. So do not enter into a buy. We're only in GER 30 as of right now. Only in GER 30 as of right now. That's the only trade. I was already in GU and I was already in GJ before we got onto the call. All right. Let's take a look here. If you're new to the call, guys, drop your questions in the Q&A. All right. And then any comments you have or anything you want me to take a look at, go ahead, put that into the overall chat. All right. I can take a look at that. All right. So see here, we got a couple of rules. Leon says 300 a day is his rule. Said $300 a day is his rule. And guys, on GER 30, guys, when you guys are up, if you feel like taking trades, take the pips. Take it. I'm holding. I didn't over leverage. I'm holding. Because I know in a few minutes we'll get good. We'll get a nice little bounce. Get a nice little bounce down. You can see that over the last for GER 30. If you guys are looking at the chart, the last day and a half, the market. But let's just go look at it real quick. Yeah, market's been pushing down. All right, market's been pushing down, and so looking for that continual push down to close that gap. All right, close that gap. Let's take a look here at the Q&A real quick. Your MT4 is frozen since the start of the call. If MT4 is frozen, go ahead and reboot your your VPS. So I rebooted my VPS, but for me, I'm seeing it's not the VPS. I'm having issues with the actual charts themselves, which I believe, again, I've talked to the broker already, and I believe it's an issue is on the MT4 side and not actually on the VPS side. All right, so MT4, I believe is having issues. It happened to me about 3-4 weeks ago as well, where for some reason the indices were frozen for me, and I'm not really sure why. All right. Nate was trying to refill the giveaway account, hence the GU trade. Yeah, guys, trying to get that next, trying to get everything, make the money back that we gave away, so that we can get back in and do another giveaway. So look out for another giveaway. Next giveaway we'll do will be a $5,000 giveaway, and we'll always stick with 10 accounts, 10 people. I will do 10 accounts of $500. All right, 10 accounts of $500. So that's the game plan. All right, that is the game plan. All right, let's take a look here. In the Q&A, it's blown up. If you miss it, don't worry about it. We'll have another one. So people asked about Euro NZD. So yeah, we talked about that NZD news that came out during Asia session is the reason why you had big moves like that. So that's one thing. There can be money made during Asia session, and typically it happens with news. So keep an eye on that. If you guys ever see news come out, make sure to keep an eye out on the pairs that are affected with that news, that particular news. All right. All right, so jump back in here real quick. Let's jump back on the charts. All right, so GER30 moving back down nicely, rejected the AIRO moving average. I entered in another trade. I never signal when I enter a second trade to you guys because some of you guys, don't use proper risk management. So I want to make sure that you guys aren't following my lead. Even though we're in drawdown, I entered another trade because I believe, based on my analysis, that we are heading down to the promised land. And because I entered in another trade, you guys know when I do that, I typically move my stop loss a little higher because I now have 2 entries. And so instead of it have the original one way down here, I moved it up to where I told you guys I was going to take it. So now I've got my initial entry going down 124 pips. And then I have the new entry going down a total of 258 pips. So you're talking about 382 pips that I'm looking to secure all the way back down here. All right. So we got 15 minutes until the top of the hour. That's when London session starts. And so I'm looking for this to be the fake out right here. And I'm looking for London session open to be a straight down. And depending on how fast it moves down, I may move both of these bad boys, depending on how fast it moves down. All right. So we're gonna see. GJ playing around right at the top of that zone where it used to be at. All right, so we're gonna give it time. Give some time. A little ugly, but we're going for the gusto today. We're going for matter of fact. I'm just gonna move these down. We're going just in case we get that big push. I don't want to miss that. We'll close it out manually if it doesn't. All right. I know my trigger. I'm looking to put it right here. Now, this trick I'm doing, guys, I told you guys before who are new, I put my TP significantly lower when I'm trading pairs that are known to be very volatile. So indices, pound pairs. I learned this strategy with pound pairs to put them, typically double what your take profit is. 50% to double. So if I'm going for a 50 pip take profit, then I want to put it at 75 to 100 pips because you can have significant movement in one direction with one candle. As you guys saw here with the NZDs, this 1 5-minute candle right here was a 100 pip candle. So if you get a drop like that and your take profit was halfway through it, all right, you miss out on a lot of money. So you put it down here, then guess what? As it comes down, you can then move your stop loss down with it to lock in profits. All right, so that's what I'm looking to do right there. All right. Is DER 30 the same as GER 30? That is correct. DE 30 and GER 30 are the same. It just depends on the actual broker that you're utilizing. All right, it just depends on the broker that you are utilizing. All right, so UPS ADR is red. Not really sure what UPS is. Again, guys, if you are anonymous, you do not get your questions answered. If you are anonymous, you will not get your questions answered. Stop loss on GER 30. My stop loss on GER 30, I don't have one set, but I can tell you my stop loss is going to be 50% of my take profit level goal. All right. Again, if you don't feel comfortable in the trade, do not look to get in. Your broker has a support zone right under the 200 EMA for GER 30. If you don't, all right, don't enter the trade then. If your broker has a support, you don't want to enter the trade, you don't have to enter it in. All right. You don't have to enter the trade. Don't feel bad about it. That's the beautiful thing, guys. This is not an EA product. This is not a product that if I put a trade in, it forces you to take the trade. All right. This is a product where you choose which trades you want to take. You choose which trades you don't want to take. All right. I'm purely just showing you guys, again, like I said, from education purposes only, why I'm taking the trade. All right. We talked about that. I showed you guys as well the setup for yesterday. I'll actually put the screenshot in the group. So if you guys didn't see that, I put the screenshot in the group of the setup. I used strategy number 7. So the wedge breakout. All right. And that wedge broke out above the the London session candle. So the original London session candle came out and price ranged in between that London session candle. All right. For a while, for about 25, 30 minutes. And then, that formed a wedge. So I marked my wedge out and I was looking for price to break out of the wedge in either direction, which would be above or below the actual London session open candle. And when that happens, we had the breakout to the upside. So I put that into the chat. So if you guys go find that from I guess last night, you guys will see that that setup and where I kind of talk about and show the screenshot with the setup of why I took that trade. All right. So someone asked about the gold trade utilizing the on the H4. So a gold H4 again, H4 and H1, just so you guys know, on H1 and H4, the rules for take profit and stop loss, there are no set take profit and stop loss rules. All right. Well, as far as take profit and stop loss, I'll tell you guys what to look for, at least what I look for. I look for on the H1, I'm looking for 50 pips for Forex pairs. On H4, I'm looking for 100 pips. Now, if you're going to use the H1 and H4 setups for gold or indices, then all rules are off because those pairs move significantly more than Forex pairs. All right. So when it comes to H1 and H4, you should be trading based on market structure. I mean, gold, you can get 50 to 100 pips on the M5. So if you're trading on the H4, H1, day chart, month chart, you can get pretty nasty as far as how many pips you can catch. All right. So with that being said, stop loss on higher time frames, H1, H4 is previous high, previous low. I don't care about a set take profit stop loss. So you're gonna have to adjust your lot sizes based on how many pips your entry is. All right, from away from the previous low or the previous high. All right, previous low or previous high. All right, and then as far as take profit, again, H1, I'm looking for 50 to 100. H4, I'm looking for 100 plus. All right, and you want to ensure that if there's a zone in the way or above or below, depending on if you're in a buy or sell, you're looking for making sure that you have 50 to 100 pip clearance, depending on whatever your lot sizes are. If you're on H1, you want to have more than 50 pips clearance between your entry and the next zone above you or below you. And H4, you're looking for at least 100 pips above you or below you. All right, preferably clear skies. That way you get some good movement. Because again, the reason why is typically on the higher time frames, you're going to use a lower lot size. All right, and when you use that lower lot size, you are going to be looking for bigger moves. So you're going to make good money because you catch more pips with a small lot size, but you use a small lot size because typically on the higher time frames, your stop loss is going to be a lot larger than it would be on a forex pair that's utilized on a lower time frame, and therefore you want to ensure that you are not going to exceed, risk management below your account. All right. Guys, we got people in the chat talking about it. I deactivated the group chat link for the AIRO bag chat because we had about 8 intruders that jumped into the chat a couple weeks ago. I had to deactivate and remove all of them. They were spamming the group and taking people to another group, trying to get money out of them. Whenever that happens, do not do it. I can tell you in the future, we've got new things coming where it's going to defeat all that. We're actually getting ready to utilize a whole new platform. So get ready to utilize and see that platform. That platform is coming in the future. We'll have more of a social media-like platform on the back end. All right, hey, NZD pairs, guys, I'm not looking at those. NZD pairs are done. I'm not looking to trade those. All right. GBP USD stop loss, I use strategy number 1. That's a bag entry. So my stop loss is 40 pips on GBP USD for those who are asking about that one. I'm down 18 pips right now on GBP USD. And again, I entered inside of a zone. So again, I didn't follow the rules there. The purple moving average, guys, is 200 moving average. Please go watch strategy number 9. All right. Strategy number 9. If you see something on the charts that you don't recognize, most likely it's there because it was taught into a strategy. So if you don't know what something is, that means you have not watched all the strategy videos. Go and watch the strategy videos. I can tell you what everything is. I can tell you I might have fractals on the chart. I might have a 200 moving average on the chart. I might have the Fibonacci on the chart. But if you don't know why they're there and how to utilize them, it doesn't make sense for me to just tell you. Go watch the videos, all right? And if you're not got to that video yet, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That video may not be ready for you because you have not worked your way up to that section yet, all right? The 200 moving average, the fractals, the what do you call it? The Fibonacci, those are advanced strategies. Strategies 1 through 4 are for beginners. Strategies 5 through 7 are for intermediate traders. And then 8 through 10 are for experienced traders. All right. And if you're not ready for it, hey, it's not no shame. If you're not ready for it, you're not ready for it. All right. Got a little, we were moving in the right direction with GER 30, but it started to move against us here. Jasmine, that was you asking? Okay, Jasmine, I saw your message. Just message me directly in the chat or in my DMs, and I can give you the link because again, I'm not making the link available. Somebody in the chat gave that link out to those intruders. Those guys came in, and they came in with like eight people, and they started taking people to another group. So you guys have noticed you're being added into random groups. That is because somebody in there is spamming. And so we're getting ready again to take everything offline. We're no longer going to be in Telegram here very soon, and we'll be on our own platform, which will allow for us to have a more controlled environment, and that people won't get spammed. Even not only just spam, but sometimes people put links in the group that if you click on the link, it could be dangerous to your device that you're actually utilizing. So if you're in a chat with your phone or your computer, clicking on a link could be dangerous. All right. Let's see here, we got it. My second entry on GER30 is in profit. So we're moving right now. It's moving in the right direction. We got about 2 minutes until the start of London. So I'm hoping we get that big push down I'm looking for. I need that push down, up 20 pips now on that position. Let's look at the Q&A. All right. All right, let's go back to the chart real quick. I'll come back and answer these questions. Let's go to the chart real quick. All right, you can see here, you got this push down candle right here, 1 minute away from the open of 1 minute away from the open of London. All right, got some good movement here. I'm just looking for that big push down. That's what we need there. That's what we need. Come on, give me that push down. London session has now opened. All right, London session is now open. All right, there we go, baby. There we go. Moving in the right direction. Let's go up 100 pips on that second entry. All right. I'm looking to take it down to the gold line right here for both. I'll be closing it out when we get to that line right there. That's what I'm looking to take it out at. I'm looking to take profit at that area right there. All right. Again, this is why you don't over leverage. Don't over leverage. Don't over leverage. I got in a little early. Got in early. But we're about to get rewarded for not over leveraging. We're about to get rewarded. We're now in profit on both positions. Looking beautiful. Looking beautiful. Let's go. Let's get it. Up over 200 pips on those two positions combined. All right. Got a little pullback. Come on, baby. Don't do that to us now. Don't do that to us. We were just looking good. We were just looking good. Come on, GER30. Don't play with us now. Come on. Come on. GJ and GU not looking good, but we'll make up for it. Can't win them all. Can't win them all. Looking real good right now. There we go. There we go. Come on. 150 pips total. 176, 190, 196. Come on. Give us that push. Go close this gap. Come on now. Quit playing. Quit playing with us. Let's go look at it. Quit playing with us. There we go. Come on. Come on. I should have entered in the third position up here. Should have entered in the third position. There we go. There we go. There that push at. There that push go. There we go. There we go. Come on. Up over 200. 236. Push, push, push. All right. Push. Again, you guys know me. Look for 50 to 100 pips on a position. So if you guys saw 50 to 100 pips on that first position, take it whenever you need to. Again, my target is this gold line here, but you can take profit whenever you want to take. All right. You can take profit whenever you want to take profit. All right. It's not liking this area right here. And I don't like that. It's not liking the area because it's pulling back. It won't break that area right there, and it's starting to frustrate me. So you guys know what happens when I get frustrated. It gets back down there again. I'm closing out because we were just in good profit of over 200 pips. Look at that pull back, just as mean as they want to be. Just as mean as they want to be. Golly, come on, GER30, don't do that to us. Yeah, GU really getting frustrating. Come on, GU. Don't do it to us like that, GU. I tell you guys, once this second position gets back in profit, I'm probably going to close out of both GER30s. Don't like the way it's moving. It's starting to wick out at the bottom. Wait till we get back in profit and we'll get out. And for me, for all that want to know, as far as my stop loss, because I didn't over leverage, I will be getting out at the top of the structure right here. If it gets that high, I don't expect it to get that high, but if it gets to the top of the structure here is where my internal stop loss is at. But I'll be getting out once we get back in profit on both positions. All right, let's check the check the Q&A here and see what you guys got going on here. All right, guys, the link. There is no new group, guys. There is no new group when it comes to the actual overall AIRO bag chat. The only thing I did was I created a new link to the group. So the old link I deactivated. So if you're already in the group, you don't need a new link. All right. And for those who need a link, you should only be giving it to people that have purchased AIRO. All right. That's it. You shouldn't be giving it to nobody else. Nobody else. All right. Take a look at these Q&A here. See what you guys got going on here. Gold just gave an AIRO, buy AIRO. All right, so that pullback was there for gold. So those who entered in on a gold, if you enter in for the buy in the direction of the trend, you should be doing pretty well. Should be doing very well on the H4, H1, whatever time frame you entered in on. GER going against us, getting ready to close out. Hitting the top of that structure. I'm out of GER 30, guys. I took that loss. I just closed out manually. It's pulling back, but I closed out. Hit my stop loss area. And it's pulling back. Of course. Aha, he's in the fun zone. I knew to take profit. I should have took profit when it went down there. It was up 200 pips. That one hurts. That one hurts my feelings because we were heading in the right direction, right at the open, looking good. Rise, congrats. Took 385 pips. You guys are smarter than me. Sometimes I don't follow my own instincts when I'm on the call with you guys. So I got to do a better job of taking profits early. I've been trying to work on holding my trades a little bit longer, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I've got to do a better job of that. Do a better job of that. I knew I should. Yeah, Rod, sometimes you got to cut it, man. Hey, you can't go broke taking profit. And I think we were up, 85 pips on the first entry. I should have just took profit. Should have just took profit on that one. That was a total of 260 pips on both. That'd have been good money right there. Gold ahead, gold booming. Let's go look at the gold. Let's go back and look at the charts here. There's that entry I told you on gold. Got that up arrow. All right. Heading on back up. I wait for that break of that zone for me before I look for entry in here. GJ pulling back. I'm not too worried about it. Got a zone here on GU, and then on GJ, got a zone there as well. It's got to go through. GI trying to push down right now. There is no news tonight, guys. So the news, GM still pushing down, which is crazy. And there goes GCAT and G-Chef. What I love about this trade is, we're halfway to stop loss on GU. I mean, on GJ, we're about 75% of the way on GU, but everything is at a zone. Zone. No zone there, but it's fallen so far. It's time for it to come back inside of a zone. GU at the zone, and then GJ has a zone before the stop loss. I like those zones there. Like those zones. I marked this up earlier. Wedge pattern for Euro GBP, Euro odd, ranging, Euro JPY, nothing. Euro NZD falling, of course, following GBP NZD. There's gold. My SPX is frozen. My GER 30, there it comes. Coming right back down. Coming right back down, of course. Went up here. I closed out. Look at it coming all the way back down. Got to be more careful. I know I should have held that. Got to be more careful. And then UK 100. Oh, yeah, my UK 100. That's the M1. So look at the M5. M5 is still frozen. I don't get what's going on, man. They really tripping. And UK 100 hit that zone, coming back down. Hit that zone, come back down. GER 30 just falling. Hit the zone, came back down. Japan 225 frozen. Let's go to the M1. The M1 works. I don't know what's going on. Something's up with MT4, guys. Something's up. Anybody else having issues with indices being frozen? Let's look at SPX 500 on the M1. Yep, it looks good on the M1. Strange. 2,000 pips is a weekly check. 200, yeah, it is. I'd have had a nice little bag. That's what I've been doing all week, guys. I mean, I've had a big week. I've given a few dollars back now on that trade because I had two positions, but I've had a big week this week on my personal account because I've been trading at GER 30 and capturing some very good moves. Put my stop losses in on my GU real quick. And on my GJ real quick. All right. Yeah, GER been a good week until today. That fake out got me. Should be getting in right about on this candle right here. Once this candle closes, we should be looking to get in. Got to be more careful. Got to be more careful. I'm about to get stopped out on GU. My fault. I entered in against the rules. So that is my fault. Minus 39, 37 on GU. So if I get stopped out, again, that's my fault on GU. GJ, I follow the rules. We follow the rules on GJ. So, only down 25 pips on that one. That one should come back. But we may get stopped out on GU. It happens. It's part of the game, guys. That's why you don't over leverage. So you can make sure that you are here for the long haul, because you are going to have days and weeks where you are, and this is where the psychology comes in. You're going to have days and weeks and maybe even months where you just can't miss. Like everything you're doing is hitting, 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 hitting. And you've doubled and tripled and quadrupled your account. And then there's going to be times you take a loss. And you might take a loss here and there and you don't feel too bad about it. But then it might come a time where you're taking a week, losses for a week and you're like, what happened? That's when you have to have the mentality. You have to go back and find out, because sometimes that adrenaline, that euphoria of never losing a trade can catch up to you. And so you start entering into trades that go against your trade plan. You start entering into trades that go against your not only your trading plan, but they don't follow none of your rules. You don't use stop losses. You're over leveraging. You're breaking everything because you feel like you can't lose. And so those are the days that you want to make sure that you are, grounding yourself. Like literally grounding yourself and ensuring that you are following the rules at all times. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. You want to make sure you follow the rules at all times and stay consistent, because consistency is key. All right. If you follow the same rules and you're consistently winning with them, when you do lose, it's fine. Keep following those rules. You may stop and look back and try to survey the land and find out, why am I losing? If you can't figure anything out and you stay consistent, hey, and you start to win again, there it is. Again, the market's not going to give you the exact same look every time. All right. Sometimes you're going to win. It's going to be perfect setup, easy setup. It's going to go exactly where you want it to go. Sometimes it's not. All right. That's why you got to have the consistency. All right. And stay in the game long haul to ensure that you have the long term, winning, percentage. All right. It's all about long term. Always about long term. Because at the end of the day, you're not trying to just be a fly by night trader. You want to be here and you want to be trading, 3 years from now. 3 years from now, instead of making, $300 a week, you want to be looking to make, 3,000 or, whatever, a week, whatever that may look like to you. And look at GER booming right down to TP, right down to TP, right down to it, right down to it. Boy, I tell you. Right down to it. Let me get back and show you guys real quick here. So if you guys held that, congrats. If you held that, share here, look at the screen here. Look at that, right down to TP. Right down to TP. We should have got in on that candle, like I said. That candle right there, barely any drawdown, 126 pips. You close below this one here, this line here, it should be good to go down here and close the entire gap here. All right. All good. It's all good. It's all good. I need these to turn around though. We got real close right there. Zone got broke. We might get stopped out on this one. GI started to try to come back. I like that. GN, they're trying to come back, bounce out those zones like we talked about. That's what I need to see. I need to see them bounces off them zones. Gold is kind of going sideways. On the 1 minute chart, you got the down arrow for SPX. All right, GR30 is bouncing up, but it's bouncing off that what? See all that? See where those wicks are going? This is a strong level of now support because his price is above it. All right, but very strong level right here. So close below that, it could be, I said, go time. All right. You still in GER30? Congrats. You should be in nice profits. I should have held. I knew where it was going, but again, I followed my trading plan. I did not want to risk because it could have kept going. It could have kept going up. It could have kept going up, and that's why I had an internal area of uh, thank God. All right. So I followed my rules. I told myself I wasn't going to risk any more past that, and I didn't. And I took the loss, and it is what it is. So so no complaints here. No complaints here at all from me. I'll make it back. That's the game plan. We'll make it back. And as you can see here, GER30 is going all the way down, and it's like it's about to close that gap, just like we talked about. So if you guys are looking at the chart, it's headed down. Let me answer some more questions here. We'll jump back on the chart here. Since we're not in any trades, let me try to answer some questions here. Let's see here. $70 pip dip, 70 pip DD on GA back to break even. Hurt me a bit though. Hey Leon, it happens, man. It happens. It happens. As long as you don't over leverage, you're good. That's what it comes down to. As long as you don't over leverage, you are good. All right. Just don't over leverage. Ensure that you're using proper risk management. All right. Make sure you're using proper risk management. That is the game plan. All right, see here. What else we got here in the group? What else we got here in the group? Take a look at some of these questions in the Q&A. All right, take a look at the chart real quick. As you guys can see here, man, what I tell you guys, this is where you got to time your entry. This is where you got to really study a chart. Look at that. What I tell you guys, we had our original take profit right here to close the gap. Look how close. Look at that. Even got a bag entry and everything. All right. So if you're seeing this, it's all about timing. All right. Timing. I got in a little early. We had a retrace. I closed out, and that was nothing but a fake out. That's all that was. That was a fake out right there. The market makers inducing. They knew people had stop losses up here. As soon as I closed out, straight back down. Look, I closed out on this candle. 2 candles later, 1, 2. I'd have been in profit on both positions. That's 10 minutes. 15 minutes later, it came down almost to where I told you it would come down to. We're closing this gap right here. All right. GJ. GU. GI. They hurting my feelings right now. Hurting my feelings. I am on the 5-minute screen. Yes, indices. I told you guys at the very beginning before you took the trade. On indexes, you need to use proper risk management. So I recommend a 0.01 for every $100 when you're trading Forex pairs. All right. So if you have $1,000 account, you should be trading with a 0.1 lot size. All right. If you're trading indices, I recommend having a 0.01 for every $500. All right. So that cuts down how much. So if you have $1,000 account, you should only be using a 0.02 for every for your $1,000 instead of a 0.05. All right. So keep that in mind. Next time you guys are placing, again, we talk about this all the time on every call. Use proper risk management. I always say that before we enter into an indice trade because they can hurt you if you are over leveraging your account. All right. Some people don't want to listen and they want to use whatever lot size they want to use, and that's fine. You just got to be prepared for any pullback. You also got to be prepared for any opportunity for a loss. If we take a loss, it's gonna hurt because you're using a lot size that is too large for the account size that you have. All right, got to be more careful. And for those who are looking at GR30, again, it may drop, but just look at this right here. All right. Looks like it may drop back down, but look at this candle, this long wick. That typically means reversal. So if anybody's getting back in this trade, hey, just be careful. Just be careful. So when we look at G-Chef, nothing to look at on G-Chef. We're in a downtrend, but it is in a zone. It is in a zone. We'll mark the bottom of that zone. And then let's look at that real quick. Let's measure that Asia session, the Asia channel. Actually, that's inside the money zone, the highest price outside the money zone here. So that'll be 24 pips. So if we get a close below this zone, that'd be a good entry for a Asia session breakout on GBP CHF, GBP CAD. Yeah, that zone's kind of big, so that wouldn't qualify. GBP NZD is already headed down. GBP odd is headed back up. GU headed back up. Thank the Lord. GJ, thank the Lord. I need it to go back to the moon. Gold, like it's trying to reverse. GER30 still trying to head down. I'm sure it's going to come down here and come below. I guess I would say I'm sure. I feel like it's going to head down that way. Let's go back here and answer some more questions, guys. Thoughts on the trend reversal on GJ? We just kind of went over that. I'm already in a trade on that one, so I'm not looking for a reversal. But we can go take a look at that real quick here. There go GER30 just pushing. So GJ, again, top-down analysis, H1. You can see we are in a uptrend. Prices just kind of been moving sideways for the last week or so. All right. But you can see the beautiful thing is there's a W formation here with a push up. W formation. AIRO moving average is above the 200. That's why I felt comfortable with the buy. All right. I probably should have entered in earlier in the day. But that's why I entered in on the Asia breakout was because of that. Now here on GJ, zone popped up. I'm staying in the trade. Usually I say to close it out, but I'm staying in the trade because of what we talked about with the zone being here. All right. It's in the overall bias is up. And let's see here. We got the W formation down here, trended up. So I'm seeing market maker cycle look like it's ready to head back up. But it's weird because now you got this M formation right here, which slanted down. So let's take a look here. Let's go to H1. I mean, for me, I see an M. See an M there. I see an A here into the W. So I'm looking for a market maker cycle to head back up, especially when you have the AIRO moving average still above the 200 moving average. That's always a clear sign. So that's what I kind of see on the H1. We go down to the 30 minute. Let's see if we see anything on the 30 minute. SPX for the sell. GJ on a 30 minute, same thing, W formation. So yeah, I'm looking for the push up, got the W formation. All right, so I'm looking for this to bounce. I'm looking for it to head back up, make that V. Here's the W, V, V into the M. That's what I'm looking for on this push right here. So for me, from what I'm seeing, I'm not seeing that that potential for any of that reversal with GJ. I'll tell you guys what I'm looking for now with GER30 for those who are eyeballing it. I know you guys are. I'm looking for price to come up here and touch. Just now that price is broken below this level. You see, remember this level right here was a strong level of support. Now it's a strong level of resistance. See, price was released. So I'm looking for price to come up here and give us a rejection off of this zone to head back down to finish closing this gap. So I'm looking for price to come up here, touch this zone, and then give us a candlestick Bible, candlestick formation that you can find in the Candlestick Bible, which is in the AIRO bag chat. I'm looking for that to pop up and give us a nice rejection that we can take back down. All right. That's some more of you guys' questions real quick. So yeah, we went over that about the pips for the higher time frames, H1, H4. All right. Somebody wants me to do fibs on GER30 and then also look at NAS 100. All right, so we'll look at those. Hopefully NAS 100 works for me. All right, so the fibs on GER30, as you can see here, we are in a uptrend, right? So we're in an uptrend. So we're gonna be drawing fibs from top to bottom. Lowest point of the past retrace to the highest price of the previous retrace. Right there. And you can see here we have what price came down and could have a nice low. This is like off the 62 level here. You got one rejection, two rejections. That right there is a bearish engulfing candle right there off of the 62 fib level. 62 fib level. So I'm actually going to enter into a nice little buy on this. No, I'm not. I'm not touching it actually. I'm gonna tell you why I'm not touching it. It never closed above this level. I explained to you guys right here. So the fib is slightly below it where it closed it. It never closed above this level right here. Let me change the color of this thing right here. It never closed above the level of this line right there, close below it. That line is the one I was explaining to you guys. That is what? Right here, where that level of resistance was at. Strong resistance. So I'm not looking to trade unless it closes above that potentially. But that would be a potentially good entry right there for a buy based on fib setups. All right. Now, fibs, again, work extremely better on Forex pairs than they do on indices and gold, unless you find a strategy that really works. I don't really use the fibs on indices and gold. So for me, it's not something I look at, but this would be a good entry right here with a stop loss for me would be below the 79. All right, below the 79. We had a rejection off the 62. So I'm looking to have my stop loss below the 79 level. And I'll be looking for take profit. For me, I look to take profit back to the zero line, which from that entry would be 446 pips with a stop loss somewhere around 265 pips. All right. FTMO account. So I'm on my personal account right now. I'm not on FTMO. I guess I'll go ahead and talk about it. There is a fellow, I'm not going to give any names, and I'm not going to get the information just yet until they're ready to announce to the world. But there is a fellow AIRO user who has a partner, a business partner, and they have designed their own prop firm. All right. So they're like FTMO, like Funding Talent, like all these other platforms. All right. And they are going to come out with a platform that allows you to trade up to $2 million account. So it's like, again, like a FTMO, like a Funding Talent, like an Audacity. They're a prop firm, and there is a brand new prop firm. So I am going to wait until they launch their prop firm to the world. Again, he's been a good partner and good brother in endorsing the AIRO software, and he's been killing it, him and his team. And for me, I'm going to support him with his endeavor, which is the new platform that he's coming out with. So I'm waiting for that to come out, and then I will be utilizing his platform and then endorsing that platform. So that's just me. So I won't be really utilizing FTMO. I'm going to pause on that one for a little while. So unless for some reason he doesn't come out with that platform, then I will go back to FTMO. But I want to support him and go with that platform. Plus, again, you have the opportunity to go up to $2 million. Plus, you have the opportunity of with the platform, I believe, even if you don't hit the goal, like for example, you get funded. No. There's some rules that are very favorable. I forgot all of them. I'm not going to try to memorize or remember what they were. I'm just going to wait until all the information comes out, and then I will share it with you guys. And if you guys want to use, that platform, you can. If you want to use FTMO, you can. I'm going to go and use a platform that gives me the opportunity to trade up to a $2 million account, and again, support a fellow AIRO user. So that's what I'm waiting on. That's why you guys haven't heard much from me on FTMO, and that's why you guys have been seeing me trade my personal account a lot more. Again, I've always traded personal account. That's why we gave it. We had a $2,500 giveaway, but that's why you see it up on my screen now instead of FTMO. So that's what I'm waiting on right now. Is just waiting on that platform to roll out. I'm hearing it could be sometime next month. But again, no guarantees. But when that comes out, you guys know, because I will be, I'll be talking about it, and I'll be going through and paying for the challenge and going through the challenge to secure the bag. All right, to secure the bag. All right. We got 20 minutes into the top of the hour. All right, got 20 minutes to the top of the hour. I'm down 27 on GJ, down 35 on GU. If I lose GU, again, that's my fault because I did not follow the rules. It is what it is. Got to be more careful. But let's see here. Let's check the chat real quick. You guys been blowing the chat up. We got Nas. You guys want to look at Nas? I don't know why we want to keep looking at Nas. Nas is a New York Central paper. We can take a look at it. Well, first of all, hold on. Let me just double check before I even waste time looking at Nas. Let me just check to see if it even works. As you guys know, I have issues right now with my indices. Let's look and see if it's even working. And all right, let me refresh real quick here. Nah, let's pull that chart up real quick, see if it's even working. All right, don't want to pull up a chart that's frozen. Let me also pull up US 30 to see if everything, because the rest of them are not working. I don't know what's going on. May have to put it in a trouble ticket with MT4. Anybody else having issues? I know we had a couple I saw having issues, but anybody else seeing any issues? All right, looks like Nas is working. Let me put the AIRO on there real quick. Yesterday it was frozen in US 30 trade, but ended up coming out profitable. Great. Indices were frozen earlier today, intermittently. So I know during the hours of 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, the indices are going to always be frozen. That's when the market closes for indices. So if you ever see that, that's not an issue. That's just the market itself. So they actually shut down the indice market, the indexes, for 1 hour between the hours of 4 and 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. So don't think that's an actual issue. That happens daily, every day. That's why you also see, I believe, on Sunday, indices and gold and oil, they don't even start moving until an hour after the market opens, I believe. It's either an hour or 2 hours, I think 6. So the same thing there. They open up late due to the same issue. They just that's when they're open from that standpoint. So don't think that's an issue. All right. All right, let me pull up, let me share my screen and show this to you guys real quick here. All right, I'm going to show you guys, pull up Nas real quick so you guys can see that on the 15 minutes. Everybody keeps asking about it. All right. It's in an uptrend. All right, you see it's in an uptrend here. 15-minute time frame. You do got a bag entry for a sale, but again, it's not really doing much of nothing right now. Again, the leader, you follow, the leader is GER 30. You see it's starting to head back down. Like I said, good entry for a buy based on the fib strategy. You got the perfect setup there. You got the bullish engulfing candle off the 62, and you're in uptrend. And if you use a small lot size and your stop loss down here, it may be a good entry. Your JPY, let's go look at that. But I wouldn't enter it in because it didn't break that level of resistance. So Euro JPY, let's go look at that. Just got a sell. We're in an uptrend. Not looking to take that. Not looking to take that. So from a NAS standpoint, it's still an uptrend. AIRO moving average above 200. Strong uptrend. Definitely supporting this resistance level. All right. Right now, I don't see any entry. I mean, you got a bag entry right there, but again, that's against the trend. So I wouldn't be looking to take that trade. All right, let me looking to take that. Let's go look at gold. There you go, gold. Gold is gone right through the zone. Through the zone. That might be a good entry. Let's look at gold here. Let's look at gold here. H1, H4. We are in an uptrend out of this world. M15, we got a zone. We're in the zone on the M15. Keep an eye on that one. Keep an eye on that one. Took 10 pips on the scalp on the sale here earlier, but the trend is what? Is up. All right, the trend is up. GR playing around. We'll keep an eye on gold. GJ, I'm still down on both GJ and GU. I'm gonna let those play out. Let those play out. So we talked about FTMO. What does it mean when there are arrows in the opposite direction? It doesn't mean anything. My strategy has 3 types of arrows. There are counter trend arrows. So if there's an arrow going the opposite of the trend, that's a counter trend arrow. It's giving you an opportunity for a counter trend if you know how to trade counter trend. Number 2, the arrow, the first, second arrow is a arrow confirmation. So it's confirming that the overall trend is now confirmed in that direction. You know, it's confirming the trend has changed into a direction. And then there's continuation. So when the trend is up or down and there's a pullback, so if we're going up and there's a pullback and then it turns back around and heads back in the up direction, or vice versa with a sale, then you get another arrow for continuation. So there are 3 types of strategies behind the arrows. One arrow needs 7 different confirmations. The other 2 arrows need 8 different confirmations. All right. If you got in on that gold trade, gold is gone. Gold is to the upper room. Got 1 minute. If it closes above this zone right here, that's the 15-minute zone. I am getting in on El Godo. If it closes above that, I'll tell you that right now. I'm getting in on gold if it closes above this right here for the breakout. Not only on the 5-minute chart, but also the breakout on the 15-minute. I'm looking for about 20 to 25 pips just due to the fact that we are out of session. So because we're out of session, I don't trade. I'm not looking for my usual 50 pips because usually when I trade gold, I'm looking for 50 pips. But I'm looking for 20, 25 pips on this breakout right here. our expert Hilliard is in the group. Hilliard, what you think, man? You like it? You like the setup? I mean, you got a nice little wedge breakout right here. You guys can see here. Look at that, everything. There it is. We in. I'm in looking for 20, 25 pips range. All right. Let's move that out the way so I can see where we're at. That's 25 right there. All right. 25 pips. If you want to know how to shrink your chart, if it's too high, you can always put your mouse over here where the numbers are at, click and hold down and then drag down or drag up, and you can move the size of the actual chart to make it easy for you to see everything. All right. So I'm looking for a 25 pip take profit. All right. Looking for 25 pips on this trade right here. Now, if you're wondering what strategy I'm using here, all right, you can see, look no further here. All right, so we're in an uptrend, right? We're in an uptrend. We've already solidified that. We're in an uptrend. You can see earlier I drew these here. These are just trend lines based on price, right? So if I pull these out right here, both of them, and then you can see the second one here, you can see I have a what? I got a wedge. Got a nice little wedge there. So we got the breakout of the wedge. Now, I should have entered in based on the breakout of the wedge here, but we didn't. The reason why I didn't enter in there is due to the fact that there was a zone at the 15-minute time frame right here. So to ensure that I had, a better entry and I wasn't going to run into some resistance, which could cause the trade to go against us, I entered in on this next candle here. UK 100 gave us a down arrow. No bounce though. GER 30 down. Look at that GER. Close the gap. Gap is now closed. Like we talked about, gap is now closed. El Gapo. And if you had took the trade based on the buy, you would have had your stop loss hit for the fib strategy. Again, the reason why we did not enter into this trade with the fib strategy is because it did not break above that strong level of resistance right there. That's why looking left is very, very important. You can really understand market structure. You can understand, where not to get in at. There's a minor structure here. And I say minor because AIRO will paint the zones where the major structures are at. But when the minor structures are at, you have to start to eyeball and look for those yourself. So I try to do a lot more of that on the call so that you guys can understand and start to see what I see. All right. Gold, we're down about 5 pips. Down about 4 pips now. Looking for 25. Looking for 20 to 25. We get to 20 to 25, take profit. All right. Take profit at 20 to 25 pips. I got mine set at 25 in case we get a nice little push through. But I'm gonna take profit at 20 once we get there. Still down on GJ and GU. Not too worried about them. Go on GJ, getting that bounce off the zone. I need to bounce a lot more though. I need to get that big bounce. You need that big bounce. All right. GU, same little bounce. We're in an uptrend, so we're good. G odd is now ranging. All right. GN. Remember, GN does what it wants. It's got a mind of its own. It's still dropping. And GCAD is up. G Chef trying to push down. It's chilling right now. So we got 6 minutes to the top of the hour. We'll take a quick break so everybody can use the restroom, get something to drink, whatever the case may be. Why is the minute 5 stuck on yesterday, but M1 works? Strange. Strange. Gonna have to put a support ticket in. So I have some more questions soon. How soon will it be out? Not really sure what you mean. Remember, guys, if you are speaking as anonymous, I will not get answered. Seeing how GN dropped over 300 pips tonight, it should retrace back up to its original level, right? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. All right. So again, one thing I'll tell you guys to do is, do not try and speculate too much on what a pair is going to do. Because when you speculate or you think that a pair is going to go somewhere, all right, just because you just feel like it's going to go somewhere or it should because it did this, all right, have a lot more than just, well, it should go back because it did this. So, for example, with GN dropping 300 pips, the question is, it should go back up to where it started from, the drop from, because it dropped 300 pips. No. GN could drop 3,000 more pips and it wouldn't surprise me because the G pairs and GN do just that. They do what they want to do. All right. And so if you think a pair is going to do something, it should be doing it based off of the chart. All right. Something that you see in the chart. Oh, it bounced off of a key level of support or resistance, a monthly level, a weekly level, whatever the case may be. All right. You want to see things like that. But just because it just dropped 200, 300 pips, there is no guarantee that you'll have to go back. Now, the main reason why you don't want to really keep putting that into your head, just caught 320 on GR30 on the sale. Hey, congrats, Alexis. Congrats. 330 pips from Edward. Congrats. GER30 TP sale. Daniela, congrats. Nice. Hilliard, 600 plus. Congrats on that gold. But the reason why you don't want to keep telling yourself that a pair is going to go there and you without having just caused from the standpoint of like, hey, hit a key level or this, that, or other, like really like confirmations that you're seeing from actual analyzing the charts, you don't want to put those into your head because you then start to have a bias towards that, which means that you will stop following your rules and you will trade based on your bias because your bias now, you've told your subconscious that you are expecting price to go back up because it dropped 300 pips. It's kind of like with crypto. Everybody says buy the dip. Well, what happens when it keeps on dipping? Buy the dip. It dipped again. Buy the dip. No. Get on the charts and sell it. All right. Or just don't worry about buying a dip. Buy, put what you can put in there, and have those diamond hands. All right. So and I say that to say you don't want to have that subconscious, built in that price is going to go somewhere based off of something that has nothing to do with analyzing the charts. Just because there was this type of reaction doesn't always mean there's going to be an opposite reaction. All right. So, hey, price dropped 300 pips. Is it going to come back down? Probably not. Don't know. Who knows? Trade what you see. Don't make trades based on what you expect, what you see. All right. Like, for example, I explained about GER30 and why I expected it to close the gap. Well, now you see. It closed the gap, but it was all based off of analyzing the chart, based on understanding how GER30 moves. Again, it closed the gap yesterday before before London session opened. So I was able to catch my 200 plus pips before the London session even opened. Whereas today, once the session happened or opened, it faked us out, and then it went down and closed the gap. All right. But that gap, I was pretty confident in it closing, because guess what? Let's go look at it real quick. Let's go look at it real quick. So let's go look at it. Gold, we're down about 8 pips right now. So, all right, GER 30. All right, so guess what? GER 30 is in a what? It's an uptrend, right? All right, it's an uptrend. Price came down. All right. Price came down. Price collected orders, moved away, came back down to get more orders down here. All right. There's some other terminology that I don't really want to go into that explains why I know there are orders down here, or I know why price was moved down here to collect orders. There are ways that you can identify that. And then guess what? During the opening close, like literally when price opened, because you remember this time frame right here is the 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Market's closed. So when the market opened, look at this. If you were in a buy, the market closed here this day, and it opened up here the next day. 500 pip gap. So everybody that was selling down here, account is blown. All right, account is blown. But there are some things that I see based on my trainings down here that I know that there were orders down here, which tells me what? It tells me that because there's orders down here, I know that price is going to come back and close this gap to go collect these orders, because guess what? They moved 500 pips in this direction. All right, they made their money, and now they're coming back because they're not going to lose. All right, the orders they left down here were the orders, were sale orders, because the market makers will sell a little bit, entice individuals like retail traders to put in sell orders because they need the volume. And when they get the volume they need, and the volume is the number of lots, all the trades people are putting in. Once they get that volume, then guess what? Then they're looking to do what? Take the trade in the opposite direction. All right. Market makers, banks, they're waiting for there to be volume in the opposite direction of where they're looking to go. All right. Remember the saying that banks buy to sell and sell to buy? That's what they're doing. They're putting in, banks will put in large or small, which is large to us, but they'll put in small buy orders, all right, to move the market up, to make us think that the market's going up. So we put more money in. And then when the market goes up higher, they put in the sell orders, because that is what they wanted to do in the first place, is they wanted to sell. And then vice versa. All right, and then vice versa. SPX 500, a buy on M1. All right. And so that's how I knew this. There's some identifying factors down here that told me that there are orders down here from market makers, banks, wherever the case may be. There are orders down here that needed to be reconciled. And reconciled meaning that once these orders were opened up in the opposite direction to entice us to sell, and they had all the volume they needed, they then immediately gapped up. That's a huge gap there for 500 pips to take the trade in the opposite direction, which is where they wanted to go, which is what? The overall general consensus or of the chart. M5, M15, M30, H1, the higher time frames all show what? That the overall consensus, the trend is in a buy trend. All right. And so when you start to understand some of that stuff, guys, again, we'll lay it all out in the right now we've got SPX 500 for the sale. Okay. When we got right now we've got Forex basics. When we get to Forex advanced and I start laying the foundation down for the Forex advanced courses, you guys start to understand about what it is I'm seeing as far as the advanced strategies or the advanced market structures that help you identify what orders may be, what is manipulation in the market, even potentially even how to trade consolidation. Like, how do you actually trade this consolidation right here? How to trade consolidation. There's a strategy on how to trade consolidation that is game changing. So that's a lot of the institutional level styles of trading that are coming in the advanced courses that will help you guys really open your eyes into what's really going on. Not only just hearing Nate say it, but actually understanding now how to identify it on the chart and then knowing how to utilize it, going forward. All right, so we're down about 20 pips on gold right now. Not bad. Looking forward to do what? I'm looking for gold to come down here, retest the top of the what? Of the wedge, and then turn around and head back up. Overall, the overall, trend is uptrend. So, GJ and GU breaking my heart right now. All right, so we are 5 after the hour, guys. I'm going to try to answer the rest of these questions. We'll take a quick little 10-minute break. Let's get back on the charts. For those of you who have been watching, we were back in profit on gold, down 9 pips now, but I was up 1 pip at one point. So looking pretty good. Gold heading the right way. You see that long candlestick rejection, bullish engulfing candle. So we're looking good, looking real good. Just need price to continue to move to the upper room. G pairs starting to head back. All right. Let's go look at GER30. It's starting to move back up. All right. So we'll keep our watch on gold. Somebody asked about my stop loss. My stop loss on gold is 50 pips. 25 pip take profit, 50 pips stop loss, 1-to-2 ratio. All right. For those who wanted to know, I'll go ahead and set that right there. All right. There's some more questions here. Nate, Brave browser, use it. I'll take a look at it. GCAD exploded. Let's go take a look at GCAD. So GCAD pushing up on the GCAD. Still in the zone there. G-Chef didn't break the zone, bouncing back. GJ, we're bouncing back. Trying to reject them arrow moving average, but yeah, we're looking for that push back up. GU doing the same thing. G-Odd zone popped up, but it's trying to move back up, kind of moving sideways. GN starting to move back up. That's good. GCAD, so all G pairs moving up. So I like that sign. G-Chef, I said, trying to bounce back up. Euro pairs, they're just kind of moving sideways. All right. Gold down about 13 right now. So again, we're at the top of where that zone is right now. It's just sitting there. So even though the zone is gone, this blue line lets me know. So, for those who are new, I always like to put the blue lines at the bottom or the top of where a zone is that I'm looking for breakout. That way I understand where that level of resistance or support was. Because again, it's going to get used all over again. All right. All price does is it repeats itself over and over and over and over again. All right. GER30. Yeah, it's just consolidating right now. Close that gap. We talked about that. More to come about that. Who knows? I might explain more about that later, but there's reasons why I knew it was going to close. What I need now to work on is entries. What is the fun zone? The fun zone is when you're in profit. The fun zone is when you are in profit. I was in profit. Now I'm not in the fun zone. I lost that trade with the with GER30, and so I'm no longer in the fun zone. I've been in the fun zone all week until now. Golly, got to be more careful. It's all good though. We'll get back in the fun zone. Not a problem. We'll get back. I'm still in the fun zone for the week, so I'm happy about that, even with the loss, because again, I didn't over leverage. Doesn't make any sense to over leverage and lose everything you made for the week. All right, I use the same lot sizes until I get to a certain dollar range, and then I'll adjust it. So gold and forex pairs, I use the same lot size. Indices, I use a different lot size, as you guys can see. I use different lot sizes depending on what I'm trading. I lower my lot size depending on what I'm trading and my account size. And then for me, even if I make another $1,000 or $500, I don't adjust my lot size. I'll stay the same and just continue to build until a certain dollar amount. Then when I hit the solid dollar amount, I change my lot size incrementally. And the reason I want to do that is I don't want to get greedy and start throwing crazy lot sizes. With my account size, I could throw a big lot if I wanted to. Don't want to. Don't want to over leverage. Don't want to get greedy. Even if I feel very confident about a trade, feel confident about the GER 30 when it gets this, I closed out for the loss, even though it came all the way back down. Could have made big money had we just held. But again, that's why you want to manage your risk. All right. So we only down 10 pips on gold right now. Do you need more money in your account on a trade on H1 for more DD? No. Just use a small lot size. Use a small lot size. How's the flight you took this week? I went to DC, guys. Got a new team that's come on board with Auvoria Prime, and they're going to be looking forward to partnering and running with the AIRO software and some of the other EAs for their team. And so I was there to speak and talk at their launch. All right. What about AIRO's Trading View public release? No answer on that one. EA update, no answer. EA's in the trade right now. It's in the EA is currently in let me double check. UJ, it's in a UJ sale, I believe. Yep, UJ sale. So down about 8 pips right now, nothing crazy. Just 8 pip drawdown. I expect that to turn around into a profit once it reaches a New York session because UJ is a New York session pair. All right. No answer on when they will be released. All right, let's take a look back at the charts. All right, you guys can see here, down 14 pips on gold. You see it's just bouncing off that level right there of what is called now support, where the resistance level used to be at. So we're just kind of waiting for it to break out. So Mike keeps asking about GA for a buy. There's no buy on GA. GA is just ranging, it's moving sideways. There's no entry on GA, so not really sure where the buy sentiment is coming from. GPNZD starting to turn up. GCAT trying to push through the zone. G-Chef trying itself. All right. Euro GBP just kind of ranging. Euro AUD sitting in the zone. Euro JPY running sideways. Euro NZD bouncing off that zone slightly there. Gold, we're down about 15 pips. All right. GER 30 is headed back on up. Headed on back up. All right, headed on back up. So I'm reseeing right now, guys. Not reseeing much of nothing. Let me get in here and Yes, we are still on track for June 17th, guys. Doesn't change. Wait till the announcements, guys. Wait for the announcements. We'll have announcements coming shortly. All right. We have announcements coming shortly on launches. All right. Until then, everything's still on track. All right. The question here is, are we less profitable with 40 pip stop loss, 20 pip take profit? Depends on how you look at it. So the reason why I recommend a 40 pip stop loss is because of the pairs that we utilize need room to breathe, number one. Number two, 40 pip stop loss ensures that people have to think about how much they're going to lose with a 40 pip stop loss. All right. It's going to force people to use uh, uh, a smaller lot size. All right. Keeps you from over leveraging. All right. Um, how do I say it here? The strategy number one has again, this is not my results, but the beta test group had a 85% or more win rate when following the rules. 20 pip take profit, 40 pip stop loss, ensuring that they had more than 20 pips room to the next zone, and all that. All right. So we're sticking to what works. And again, if you're more experienced, the ones that were more experienced, they had a more than 85% win ratio with strategy one. All right. So that's the reason why the stop loss is twice the size of the take profit. All right. But overall, if you're winning, let's just round down to 80%. If you have an 80% win rate, you will make more pips. So for example, out of 10 trades, all right, if you win 8 and you lose 2, 20 pips times 8 trades is 160 pips. 40 pips times 2 trades is 80 pips negative. So you gained 160, you lost 80. 160 minus 80 is positive 80. So with that ratio, you still win. All right. Let me see here. I believe down to, you could be a 70% trader with 20 pip take profit, 40 pip stop loss, and still make money. 70%. So 7 out of every 10 trades. All right. Yes, today New York session will be covered. I'm actually staying up. I'm going to be on New York session. We have a brand new guest who's going to be helping us out on New York for the next couple of weeks until the June 17th launch. All right. Not going to give too much about the June 17th launch. Not going to give too much about the trader's going to be helping us. He's a brand new trader to the community, not brand new trader. He's been trading for years. Very great trader. Got his own strategy that works great with AIRO. And he's going to be helping us out for the next, every Wednesday and Thursdays on New York sessions for the next, 2-3 weeks until June 17th launch. All right. So I'm thankful for him. His name is Mr. Corey Collier. You guys will get to meet him for those of you guys who attend New York session. We already answered this question. If you are late on a trade, we already answered this question. Do not chase a trade. If you're 20 pips late, TP's already been hit because our take profits are 20 pips. Don't enter the trade. All right, guys, we're at 1 minute. So we're still in gold. All right. We're in the gold breakout of the wedge. Looking for the continuation. Got take profit at 25 pips myself. I've got a 50 pip stop loss. All right. That's the only trade we should be in. Again, I'm still in GJ and GU, but those trades were prior to the call. And with that said, markets have slowed down as they usually do around this time. We're gonna go ahead and call it quits tonight. I'm gonna stay on here and answer a couple questions. But hey, this is the end of the call, and we will. Hey, if you're gonna continue to trade, make sure to trade responsibly. There is news in 30 minutes, so take a look at the charts. There is news. Let's just pull it up real quick to go over that real quick, and we'll call it quits here. So on my FX book, there isn't any news, but I know there is some on Forex Factory. So Forex Factory, you got some yellow folder CHF news, so Swiss franc. CHF news at 4 here in about 30 minutes, 4 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, you're gonna stay up to trade. Make sure you trade responsibly, and I'll see you guys in the funny papers.